Hi, my name is Heather, and the reason that I'm creating this video is um, lately I've been posting some pictures on my Instagram and Facebook of my progress through my working out and the changes I've seen in my body. And I've had quite a few people reach out to me and ask me like what I'm doing, what workout program I'm doing, and that they're really inspired by me. So that inspired me to want to share it with whoever is interested in what I've actually been doing. Because I'm not on a diet and I am not following any specific workout program. So I thought it would be cool to just kind of share what it is that I do and what works for me. So obviously I've tried everything. I've tried excessive working out on the treadmill, going to the gym, doing exercise videos, diets. I've even got that skinny mint tea, you name it, I've tried it. And, these things sometimes work for like a little period of time, but, they don't work for an extended period of time. So it is very important what our diet is while we work out. It's like, I don't know, a very big part of it. Like if you don't have a healthy diet, no matter how much you work out, it's not going to yield the results that you want. For example, I am now recently in recovery from an eating disorder, which I've had for over 20 years. And so I'm actually working with a nutritionist who's helping me understand like what it is I need to eat. So I'm not on any certain diet. I'm actually not allowed to be on a diet, I guess, because I'm supposed to get a certain amount of food. But that's kind of a side story. I don't want to focus too much on the diet today in this video because I think the biggest thing is to get started and get your body moving. Quite a few of these people that have reached out to me, they currently aren't doing any type of workout at all, and they see how motivated I am, and they just want to know like what it is I do, how I stay motivated, and so that's what I'm going to talk about. So of course, like I said, there's all these other type of exercise options. The problem with those is, when you go on the treadmill, it tends to become very tedious. You spend a lot of time, and who has time for that? What I do, you can do it at the gym, but you can also do it at home. So I find that to be very beneficial as well. So what I actually do, I don't know if you guys have heard of this, is called circuit training. So what is it exactly? Well, basically it's combining cardiovascular exercise with strength training. And actually when you're combining these two in the form of a circuit, you can actually reap the benefits of both in usually a shorter amount of time than if you were to, let's say, go to the gym and go on the treadmill for half an hour and then do weights for half an hour. Rather, you could just do a circuit for half an hour and you'd be getting the benefits from both of those. Another great thing about this is that you create the workout that you want to do. So, you pick the exercises that work for you and for your body. A lot of times when people start these workout regimens or they decide to do, these workout videos, they can be very intense when you have gone from nothing to all of a sudden to these videos, and then you do it for a couple of days, you're dying, and then you just kind of throw in the towel. That's been my experience anyways. So you create your own workout, and then there's many ways to customize the workout. So currently I kind of dabble between 20 and 30 different circuits that I incorporate into like my circuit. Not every day, of course. I don't do 30 different exercises every day, but I kind of switch them around. I right now probably do a longer circuit than I would recommend you do because I've been doing it for a lot longer. So I generally I try to target one of each, the arms, the butt, the stomach, and the legs. And then you kind of incorporate a cardio exercise into there as well. So, the internet is an amazing tool. Now, I actually did a presentation on why circuit training is great for my speech class in college. And, I found all of these pictures on the internet, and they also show you how to do them. So what I would suggest is typing in circuit exercises or exercises for arms or exercises for butt or exercises for legs, and then it'll show you a plethora of a bunch of different exercises you can choose from. Then you kind of pick what you know you would be able to do. And then also there's like the cardio category. So cardio would be something like running in place or jumping lunges, jumping jacks, jump rope, something that's incorporating the muscle but also raising your heart rate. Excuse me. So I do have a little bit of an equipment at my house, nothing too crazy. I have a jump rope. I have one of those exercise balls. I have a yoga mat because that helps like if I'm doing sit-ups on the ground. I have a couple of dumbbells as well, and then I have a resistance band so that I can do some exercises with my arms. I also have a treadmill, but you don't need to have a treadmill to be able to do circuits at home. So how do you start this? Well, the first step is to decide what amount of time you want to work out. I would suggest if you are, you've never done circuits before, you're not doing anything right now, I would say let's start with 30 minutes, half an hour. So then you write a plan as to what you want to do. So I would suggest looking up some exercises that you would like to pick. And I actually have an example here because my cousin reached out to me and he had no idea about this either, so I kind of set up a plan for him. So if we're doing 30 minutes, probably won't be able to read this actually. So you would pick 5 exercises and you would do them 6 times in a row for 1 minute each. So for him, I chose, let's do jumping jacks for 1 minute. Then you do squats for 1 minute, run in place for 1 minute, and then do bicycles for a minute, and then you rest for a minute. Then you do it again. So you do that 6 times. If that seems to be too much, like too long, you can kind of choose more exercises and do it for about the same amount of time. So this is actually 28 minutes, so close enough to half an hour. And so there's 7 exercises. So I suggested he do girl push-ups or whatever you want to call them. I suggest that because if you can't do an actual push-up, because they're actually pretty hard, don't try to because you're not getting the best benefits from it. So it would be better to start with the ones that you use your knees. Butt kicks, which is kind of like running in place, but you try to kick your butt. Lunges, and this would be done slowly so that you're feeling like the strength in your legs rather than jumping lunges. Leg extension, this would be you're on all fours and then you extend your leg out, so it would be kind of engaging the butt muscle. And then leg raises, which this would engage the abs, so you would lay down flat on your back and then raise up your legs straight and then put them back down to the ground. And then jumping jacks. And then last but not least, you would rest. So for each one of those, you would also do it for a minute, but you would only repeat this circuit 4 times. So either way, you're engaging the muscles and then you're doing the exercise for a half an hour. One thing I also want to mention is it can seem really overwhelming to jump from one exercise to the next, to the next, to the next, especially when you're starting. And, I think it's perfectly fine to rest a little longer in between, because even when I first started, I need to take longer little rest breaks. And even now that I've been doing it for quite some time, I have to take little rest breaks. So I do want to emphasize that this is not just for women. As I said, my cousin Chris is doing this. Another benefit is that you have the freedom to do it at home. You can go do it at the gym as well. You might want to do that if you don't have like certain weights or things that you want to incorporate into it. Another thing that's great is sometimes during these rest periods, like I feel like I don't have time to get my workout done. because I want to clean my apartment or something. So I will actually do a circuit and then I'll like start the washer. Then I'll go do another circuit and I'll unload the dishwasher. Then I'll do another one and then I'll mop the floor, like whatever. And then kind of by the time I'm done, I have a clean apartment and I'm done with my workout, which is super awesome. Another thing is when I do this, I actually watch TV. So I pick like a series that I'm watching, and then it kind of distracts me from the workout. So I'm not like just focusing on what I'm doing. Because I know sometimes for me, when I'm doing exercise videos, it feels like it's never gonna end because you're just so focused on the exercise itself. So if you have, music's a great thing as well, but I tend to like focus like, oh my God, this is taking forever. But if I'm watching a show, then I'm kind of, engaged in the show as well. So that's just my 2 cents on that. That's what helps me. I also think it's very important to write down what you plan to do. So like, if you pick a circuit, you don't want to do that same circuit all week because you're going to get bored. So, you could pick one. I actually started writing it on note cards because when I first started doing these, I went to the gym. So I brought that note card with me. And then the next day I would pick 4 different exercises or 7 different exercises and do them at the gym. Currently, I actually write them on, this whiteboard every day of what I'm going to do. And then, if I get distracted, I kind of just put like a check mark if I did that one time so that, I'm not constantly thinking about it. So yeah, that's what works for me. Like I said, I'm not on any special diet, but I would like to talk about how important nutrition is at some point. I do use a couple supplements as well to keep my body going and healthy and getting all the nutrients it needs, but I will also not talk about that right now. I think the biggest thing is, okay, let's make this plan, let's get our bodies moving, and then, I gotta say, my cousin has been doing this for 2 or 3 days now, and he said, my whole body burns, but it feels so great. So it's just, the hardest part is getting started. But believe me, you will not get bored. You will see results. I always suggest, maybe taking a before picture because we're our own worst critics. We don't notice our bodies changing. But, take one and then like a month from now, take another one and you will see some changes. And for now, I think that's all I have. People were inspired by me, and that inspired me to want to share what I do with everybody. So if you would like to, you can follow me on Facebook. I also have Instagram, and I did just today create a Gmail account if anyone wants to email me with questions, and I can offer suggestions or kind of help you get started. I am totally fine with that. The more people that I can get engaged with this and help motivate, the better I will feel. So with that, thank you for listening, and I will talk to you soon.